Hi guys, thanks again for visiting us at Ras Aquaculture. For today's video, we will be actually covering an emergency situation that a lot of us are facing currently in West Malaysia and some part of East Malaysia as well. So for those who are not familiar with our channel, we actually have also a shrimp farm that is actually based outdoor. Alright, so generally in the past months of July, we usually don't have a big problem with production during this period because of the hot weather. But for this year, we have a lot of rainfall rate that is affecting a lot of our production, right? So as you can see, the weather now, this is in last 2 days in our shrimp farm. The weather has been gloomy for some time, and we actually realized some of our ponds had these dead shrimp that are floating on top. So this is a video that we actually made specially to announce to everybody that we have this problem, and we actually have a lot of clients that are facing the same problem, especially throughout this month. And some of them are actually located in Indonesia, Tawau, um, which is actually East Malaysia, and a lot of parts of that in West Malaysia as well. So one of the signs that the problem that you might be facing, similar to us, is you will realize that for these few days, you see a lot of leftover on your feeding tray, which you see over here. So this tray has been actually put in for about an hour. The shrimps are not really taking onto the feed. Um, if you are seeing this, there are actually emergency actions that you have to take very, very quickly. Yes, here we do have some shrimps on the tray, but again, they are still not fully finishing the feed, and we have actually cut back a lot of feed, right? I'll explain a little bit in detail what is actually happening for those who are farming. And this is actually our shrimp that has been cultivated for about DOC 60. This is the smaller ones. We have bigger ones that are about 10-gram sizes. So actually it's very depressing to have them die at this stage. So you can see that the shrimps are actually very, very lethargic, and you see they are not very active, right? So the guts are actually okay, hepatos okay. As of now, we have actually put the shrimps for testing. We won't get the results back until next week. So these are some of the challenges that you do it outdoor. Just for context, we're actually doing it in an earthen pond. So although we have indoor facility, but we also have an outdoor facility as well. As you can see, weather's not great. Um, so what you can do now is, if you can, water quality is okay, do a bit of water exchange. So what is happening between this month that is a bit different from the previous months is that our weather patterns are actually changing. So if you look at this chart, this is actually the top one is actually what is happening in July and this year, and the second chart shows that the one in the middle shows the weather patterns in July 2022 and 2021 on the bottom. So the red bars are actually showing raining thunderstorms. So as you can see the legend below, and the green is just light storms. And if you don't have any bars, it shows that there's no rain. So if you look at 2021, you can see that for the whole month of July, there's actually not a lot of rainfall. But it started to increase in 2022, and for this year, we have actually a lot of thunderstorms in the early part of July. So we can actually saw a lot of our performance on the feed and water temperature and cloudcast affecting us in these 2 months. And with this high rainfall rate, what is actually happening is our pH and water quality is actually being affected. Unlike our indoor farms that are all sheltered, we can control the water chemistry. In outdoor ponds, although we can do no water exchange, but it's still difficult to govern the overall pH in the system as per se, because a lot of our rain nowadays is very acidic, in the range of 5 to even 5.5. So as you can see that our pH for this farm used to be in the area of 8, but with this July period is actually go down to 7.5. So you can look at the chart below. So it shows ammonia and pH, and you can see during the 14th of July, which is after about 9 or 10 days of rain, we start to see pH dropping down into the range of 7. And I believe that it have probably gone lower. And once it does, we can see an ammonia spike. So ammonia isn't particularly very high, it's in the range of 0.5 to 0.75. There's no reason to be alarmed if it's only this value. But as the pH drops, what we see is a lot of leftover, and the shrimps are not being very active. So what you need to be doing at this moment is to ensure that you have enough sodium bicarbonate or calcium carbonate within your farm to put especially you're having a lot of days of rain. Well, in the past, what tends to happen if you have what we call good sunshine and a high amount of sunlight available during non-rainy season is that actually when your system is dominated by algae, what tends to happen in the day is because of respiration of the algae, and absorbing the extra carbon dioxide, your pH will tend to be a bit higher, like 8.2 to 8.4. And before July, we actually had a very warm month in June. So the sudden transition from June to July result in a lot of excess algae in your ponds. And once you have a cloud cast or a lot of rain, a lot of the algae no longer can produce photosynthesis. And now what it does is instead of producing oxygen, it actually absorbs oxygen and releases carbon dioxide, which further depress your pH on top of the high rainfall rate. So what that actually results to is in an event that you have a very low pH. Some ponds have actually reported back of having a pH of about 6 or 6.6, and they actually have to gone through an emergency harvest. So my recommendation is twofold: is firstly, make sure that you have enough calcium carbonate on site or even sodium bicarbonate. The next is you need to have a lot of aerators turned on even if it's during the day, because if you don't have enough oxygen in the morning, so that would not dissipate enough carbon dioxide throughout the atmosphere. So you really have to make sure aeration is enough, not just at night but also in the morning as well. And for the last tip is, with this high rainfall rate, temperatures in your ponds might be actually be lower, so in the range of 29 or 28. So if temperature is low, do not overfeed because shrimps are not that active as compared to 30 to 32 degrees. And if you feed as per you would in the normal July season, what you'll be having is an overfeeding situation, which further compounds the problem. Alright, and the last one is whether to do water exchange. It really depends on the surrounding, because if you do a water exchange with a lot of surrounding farm, you might bring in disease factors that will definitely kill a shrimp. We haven't ruled out disease on our farm yet, but we will check and let everybody know. But for us, we have already started to do a bit of water exchange to bring in new water with higher pH and alkalinity and calcium. So guys, hopefully, we release this video just in time. If you're having this problem, do take the necessary action and react quickly, because you do not have a lot of time between the event until the cause of death of shrimp. And for us, that drop in pH and the time window for mortality is only about 2 days. So please react fast, and we do not want to see any of our clients having the same problems as us, because with the current economic crisis and with the shrimp prices and even production problems, we hope our clients would receive this news quickly. So do spread the news to all of your shrimp farmers, and hopefully you guys get to event a scenario that we have over here, which is very devastating for any farmer to have lost a crop before. So guys, please spread this out and let all the farmers know what are the things to take note, and we'll continue to keep updating everybody, so stay tuned.